This video is for reference and is only used to simulate on-site inspection and maintenance. The transition resistance and DC resistance of the diverter switch must be measured by professional tools. This process is omitted in this video. Before inspection, please read the operation instruction carefully and prepare the parts that need to be replaced. Many fasteners on the tap changer are disposable and must be replaced with new ones after removal. Preparation: wear work clothes, work shoes, and a safety helmet. All necessary tools must be prepared. No jewelries, no sundries in the pockets. Goggles are required on special occasions, and safety belts are requested for climbing. OLTC switch insert lifting. Turn off motor drive unit's power. Drain the oil compartment through the oil suction pipe. Operate the OLTC to the adjustment position. OLTC without changeover selector should also be at the adjustment position. Open the gas discharge stopper on the head flange to bleed the OLTC. Remove the M6 screws on the bracket of the horizontal drive shaft and take the drive shaft away. Remove the 20 pieces of M10 screws on the head cover and then take away the head cover. Be careful to properly store the screws, nuts, O-rings, and other parts. Remove the top cover sealing ring. Loosen the nuts of the oil suction pipe. Pay attention to the gasket between the joints and not to let it fall into the oil compartment. Use a M5 screw to pull out the positioning pins that fix the spring plate. Remove 5 pieces of M8 screws and take out the spring energy system. Be careful to properly store the removed parts. When taking out the spring energy system, do not put your hands on the gears to avoid pitching. Remove the oil suction pipe with special tools. Rotate the main shaft of the switch insert with a special tool to separate the moving and fixed contacts, which prevents the OLTC contacts from being strained when the insert is lifted. Attach a lift sling strap to the special tool on the top of the main shaft. The contact group on the main shaft should be at the gap between the two-phase changeover selector contacts. OLTC without the changeover selector can be directly hoisted out. The hoisting process should be carried out slowly. Lift off the main shaft. Pay attention to oil dripping and clean it in time. Main shaft inspection. Clean the main shaft with clean oil and wipe out the oil on the surface. Check if there's any abnormality on the appearance of the insulating parts. Check whether there's abnormal discharge. Check all fasteners on the main shaft, which must be firmly connected. Check whether the main contacts Main switching contacts and transition contacts slide normally. Check whether the contact wear is even. Replace them if the abrasion is bigger than 2 mm. Check whether the connecting piece of the contacts are cracked. Make a record if there's only one crack. Make a replacement immediately if there are more than one. Check the diameter of the arcing contacts. Burnings are allowed in case they are even. If the diameter of an arcing contact is smaller than 18 mm, all the arcing contacts must be replaced. Press the transition contacts and the main switching contacts. They should come back evenly and slowly without jamming. Check whether the transition resistors are deformed or discolored. Measure the transition resistance of the OLTC and compare the results with the FAT nameplate, allowing an error of ±5%. Check screws of the 3 insulating plates at the upper end of the main shaft.
If the OLTC has operated 100,000 times, the upper polar insulating plate must be disassembled to check the 6 screws inside.
Common parts replacement. Changeover selector contacts replacement. Disassembly and installation. Disassemble and install the changeover selector contacts. Main contact replacement. Disassembly. Loosen the screws fixing the leads. Unlock the lock tabs supporting the rod. Loosen the supporting rod and remove the positioning pin. Remove the main contact, spring, and gaskets. Installation. Install the spring and reassembly the main contact bracket. Insert the positioning pin and the gasket. Tighten the supporting rod and lock the lock tabs. Arcing contact replacement. Disassembly. Loosen the screws of the corresponding arcing contact lead. Remove the supporting rod and lock tabs. Remove the screws and lock tabs on the top cover. Remove the arcing contacts, insulating plates, the spring with nylon sleeve and gaskets. Installation. When installing the arcing contacts, first put the thin rods at both ends of the contact into the hole of the cover plate. Insert the gasket, and then insert the spring with nylon sleeve into the bottom of the arcing contact. The spring must be in the right place to ensure the contact is flexible. Install insulating plates. Tighten the screws on the top cover. Insert the supporting rod, put back the lag tab and tighten the supporting rod. The spring with nylon sleeve is embedded behind the arcing contacts on both sides, and press the arcing contacts to test the elasticity. Tighten all screws and lock the lock tabs. Tighten the screws of the corresponding arcing contact leads. OLTC Re-assembly. Slowly put these switch inserts into the oil compartment. The arcing contacts must be inserted between the two-phase polar fixed contacts inside the oil compartment, and be careful not to touch the contacts inside the compartment. When the insert is completely in the compartment, remove the lift sling strap. Use a special tool to rotate the arcing contact until the convex shape of the special tool snaps into the U-shaped groove between the V-shaped support frames. Before the V-shaped support frame moves, make sure that the polar moving contacts are between the fixed contacts, and then rotate it counterclockwise to close the moving and fixed contacts. Check whether the three-phase polar moving contacts stop at the middle of the fixed contacts. If not, return clockwise and repeat the above operation until the contacts stop at middle. Finally, according to the U-shaped groove, confirm the pipe joint's position. Remove the screws fixing the special tool screw and take out the special tool. Insert the oil suction pipe into the main shaft and press it firmly. Checking the spring energy system, then stop the tap position at downward 9B. After checking the spring energy system, put it into the switch insert. Align the positioning pin on the reverse side of the spring energy system with the positioning hole on the top of the insert. Align the turning arm with the U-shaped groove and align the notch on the spring energy system board with the convex part of the flange. Put in the spring energy system and use a special tool to slightly adjust it until in the right place. Tighten 5 pieces of M8 screws into the spring energy system assembly plate. The oil suction pipe joint is tightened after installing the sealing ring. Insert 2 spring plates into the flange grooves and fix them with positioning pins. Threaded holes facing upwards. Operate the OLTC upward and downward for several cycles to ensure that the positioning of the changeover selector contacts is at middle. Finally, switch to position 9E. Turn the gear shaft hole of the spring energy system to the same position as the gearbox horizontal drive shaft. Install the oil compartment sealing ring into the sealing groove and put the top cover back. Tighten the 20 pieces of M10 screws on the top cover.